Chapter 1. True Mysticism. Nearly every seeker after truth stands baffled at its gates and asks the question, what is the truth and where can I find it? Most races and nations have their own sacred scriptures, and the interpretations of them are many, as also are the religions which teach the creeds founded on those sacred texts. Intuitive souls sense the existence of a living reality within those sealed sacred scriptures. It is not within books themselves, but that the writings pertain to a living reality, which can be perceived by the physical senses. It is actually within every human being, yearning to be brought into conscious realization. This is proven by the lives of true saints in different countries in the past, and by living saints in the present age who are hard to find. He who has found and come under the guidance and protection of such a true mystic during his lifetime on this earth is most fortunate indeed. An Adrian thread of devotion and faith seems to run through all religions, like a single pathway to the truth in life, cleaving asunder many theories and external observations and rules. Love and devotion transcend all forms, because these are living energy currents and qualities of the soul. They are not to be, page flip, confused with mere physical emotions and attachments. Truth itself is the common denominator, which is the reward in understanding. It is a life of devotion, love, and service to the Supreme Being and its creation under the guidance of a true mystic in human form. Mysticism is the path of the soul to God realization. A true mystic, master, or saint is one who has attained this goal during his lifetime on this earth, and those who are thereby devoted followers and aspire to attain the same goal are also called mystics, disciples, satsanis, and other things, depending upon the language that is being used, but all have the same meaning. Truth is the mystic thread which links the pearls of every creed into a rosary of life, but it must be lived in order to be realized. Mere lip service is useless. Jesus lived this ideal so completely that he merged his being into that pattern of thinking and feeling where he became identified with this truth. Out of this consciousness came his wonderful declaration, I am the way, and the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. John chapter 14, verse 6. Similar is Lao Tzu's declaration of the great Tao Te, virtue of power, and Wu Wei, effortless way of gentleness or non-resistance. The effortless effort of true devotion does all things naturally from within, outward, as all fountains flow. It is the life of the spirit uncensored by mind and personal preferences or considerations. There is not a trace of ego where God's will rules direct and supreme. Jesus explained this simple way of life in few words. For my yoke is easy, and my burden is light. Matthew 11, verse 30. If any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. Matthew 16, verse 24, also Mark 8, verse 34. This is the crossing over of self-interest and currents into the selfless way of God and love. It is the true way of gentleness and devotion, by effort which is not born of selfish or selfless interest, but of love. This can be achieved by surrendering the self and all the cunning of the mind and ego to the will of God. Further, Jesus said, If a man love me, He will keep my words, and my Father will love him, and we will come unto him, and make our abode with him. John 14, verse 23. A new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another as I have loved you, that ye also love one another. By this shall all men know that ye are my disciples, if ye have love to one another. John 13, verses 34 through 35. Inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of these my brethren, even these least, ye have done it unto me. Matthew 25, verse 40. And I have declared unto them thy name, and will declare it, that the love wherein thou lovest me may be in them, and I in them. John 17, verse 26. These simple statements solve all of the problems of service. And who is our neighbor? Thy name, in the secret word of power, within every human being. It is the holy Shabbat, or sound essence. Such a true and simple religion is a way of life, rather than a fixed creed of rules and observations. This is always noticeable at the fountainhead of that religion where there is a living mystic or master, and a few sincere followers. Truth reveals itself as a life rather than a mere belief to cling to. A living faith is a definite way of energy flow in an inward and upward direction through the mind and emotions of the individual. It is a reality, and it is always rewarded by the Supreme Being. Faith is accredited only to him who lives it, and, as was said in the case of Abraham, that it counted as righteousness. Romans 4, chapter 3. It then becomes the right pathway of life and understanding. Living the life by doing the deeds of love express the inner life of the soul. It flowers and grows on the still lagoon of life's emotions when riding on the holy Shabbat current. This serenity is a gift of God, attained only by means overcoming the self through his love and mercy. Success in the pursuit is as definite as any enterprise or business venture or scientific experiment. Yet it is the simple way of life spoken of by Jesus, Lao Tzu, and other great mystics. Devotion and attention to the great work are the first requisites to success in a mystic life. God, the ideal, is the North Star to every devotee on this sea of life. This constant awareness of God as the giver, the gift, and the receiver solves many puzzling problems, leads to the sublimation of the self, of separate self, and ends in the bliss of conscious union with God, the Supreme Being. This is the meaning of true mysticism, and this is the goal of all real mystics or saints in any land or at any time, regardless of race, creed, or nationality. It is life's supreme purpose and goal. The reason for writing this book is to follow the rosary thread of mysticism in the Bible through some of its hidden meanings in obscure passages and a few well-known ones, and to show how it is identical with other sacred scriptures, such as the teachings of Radha Swami and of the saints and mystics of other lands and ages. Finding the hidden light within ourselves, Luke 11, verses 34, 35, and 36, Matthew 6, verse 22, John 1, verse 9, and listening to the small, still voice within. 1 Kings 19, verse 12 and 13, also called the Holy Shabbat, the sound current, and the Holy Sound, and actually practicing what is taught within the Bible and other sacred scriptures as a new life and revelation under the guidance of a true living master or mystic, ultimately leads to a genuine love and God realization. As truth is one, mysticism is one. It is the way, the truth, in the life of the devotee. God is one, and the way to Him is one. The avenues of the starting points may be far apart, but the brooks and the rivers, they all lead to the ocean.